Save Mulenge. Using this hashtag, a new online movement on social media platforms such as Instagram and Twitter has started to draw attentions to the events in Mulenge and the crimes committed to its inhabitants, the Banyamulenge.
As some of you may not know, there's a massacre happening in Mulenge, located in the eastern side of Congo. Hundreds of villages have been burnt down. Men, women, children, and elders are being slaughtered, beaten, and raped. No one is talking about this on the news. This is not being covered anywhere, and we're tired of our cries not being loud enough. This is why we're inviting you for a peaceful protest happening at Parliament Hill on Monday, November 11th at 4 p.m. We need to save Mulenge, save Mulenge, save Congo, save Africa.
Since May 2019, attacks by militias on Banyamulenge villages have been reported on social networks. Many communities are being burned down. Their inhabitants are robbed of their livelihoods, maltreated, displaced, and killed. But what is exactly happening in Mulenge? Our team for Kosmopolitube took a look at the history of the region. Mulenge is a region located in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The inhabitants of this region are called Banyamulenge, which translates to the people of Mulenge. They are an ethnic group that has lived in the region for generations. Their language, Kinyamulenge, is very similar to the language of Rwanda, Kinyarwanda. This is due to the fact that many of the Banyamulenge ancestors were Rwanda shepherds that migrated to Congo as early as the 18th century, before colonization. But when Africa was divided into colonies during the Berlin Conference, also known as the Congo Conference, in 1885, pre-existing territorial and ethnic affiliations were not taken into consideration by European colonizers. A little later, when Belgian colonial rulers divided the territories by ethnicity, the Banyamulenge people were one of the few groups left with no territory. Though officially they counted as citizens of Congo, they often fell victim to discrimination and exclusions, as they were not accepted by everyone based on their ethnicity. A law passed in 1981 limited to the right to Congolese citizenship to only those Banyamulenge who could prove that their ancestor had lived in Congo before 1885. In 1996, they were even deprived of the Congolese citizenship by the then President Mobutu Sese Seko, with the aim of expelling them as foreigners to Rwanda and Burundi. Only with the Citizenship Act of 2004 did they regain their right to citizenship. However, to this day, the Banyamulenge are still fighting to be socially recognized as Congolese. There have been tensions with other local groups and attacks by the Mai Mai, a collective term for armed militias in the region. Since May last year, over 160 Banyamulenge villages have been attacked and burned down by the Mai Mai. Cows, which are an important livelihood and symbol of the wealth in their culture, were stolen and slaughtered. At least 200 people have died. More than 200,000 out of an estimated 400,000 Banyamulenge had to leave their homes due to the forceful displacement. Many displaced families flee to the neighboring countries, Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi. Even after escaping, many of those affected are still afraid and remain silent about the incidents. After a long search, we are able to find a young Banyamulenge woman who was willing to tell her story. Grace and her family fled when her village was attacked by armed militias. Fearing further persecutions, she wants to remain anonymous. Therefore, her name was changed.
There were killings happening by the Mai Mai and other militia. They wanted to kill everyone that spoke Kinyarwanda in that region. With God's mercy, we were saved from Masisi and brought to the border of Rwanda, where we stayed for some months as a transit. After that, we were brought to a refugee camp in Nyagatare, in the eastern province of Rwanda. When we fled, my dad refused to come with us. We tried to convince him, but he felt like the killings would end soon, and so he denied and stayed with the cows and our house. But unfortunately, they found him and killed him, and after that, they took all our properties and cattle. Now I live in Kigali, but my family is still in the refugee camp. I have work, but my life here is still not good. At least I can get some little money to send to my family and some for me. I don't think I can ever go back, not after what they have done to me, my dad, and my people at large.
For the most part, the hashtag #SaveMulenge is used by affected people, relatives, diaspora, and supporters. Especially the younger generation chooses the internet and social network as a tool to draw attention to the massacres and crimes against their family.
#SaveMulenge hits home. These are people that we know. It's our grandparents, it's our uncles, it's our aunts. And so it's more than a hashtag. Basically, we associate it with faces that we know, have lived with, and we also don't take for granted the fact that that hashtag could have been us in any time or day. I don't know, but this is not new. It's been ongoing for several generations now, which is why we're here in Canada today.
Still, international media remains silent. Only few media houses report on the massacres. Even the embassies of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the neighboring countries did not want to comment on the events. But where does the lack of interest of European journalists come from? One reason for the lack of reporting may occur from the lack of correspondence and reliable sources on the ground, says an employee of a German media house. The UNHCR also confirms that finding and verifying information is difficult. Moreover, according to another German media company, news follows what's new. The civil war in Congo has been going on for decades without any real development. Many of those affected, their relatives and supporters, use the hashtag #SaveMulenge tirelessly to shed light on the incidents and fight for the survival of the Banyamulenge people and against more violent outbreaks in the future.
I want never again to mean never again, you know? Mm-hmm. Like that should have been said like once, and we should have meant it. It shouldn't have been like a figure of speech.
That's all from us, Kosmopolitube. Stay tuned for next week's video and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.